Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we will be trying out some marker pens from Himi. This set comes with 80 different coloured pens as well as a marker pad. It's also supposed to come with 2 pencils, a pencil extender and an eraser, but for some reason my set didn't. So in today's video we'll just be trying out the pens and the pad that they came with. And they come in this very cute small portable box with a handle that's very handy. Here are the pens. It comes with a swatch sheet, which you know I am very eager to be trying out. These pens come with a chisel nib and a brush nib. So although none of the packaging actually says that these are alcohol markers, I believe they are alcohol markers. That's what's listed on the Himi website. And yeah, they're quite nice, although as you can see here, one of my pens did in fact come completely dried out, which was unfortunate. I do have a little bit of an issue with the colours in this set, in that there's just a very strange range of them. There's a lot of similar pale colours, like as you can see these ones up here are all extremely similar, and then you just get a lot of very pale colours, and also there's no like outright purple, which I find very strange. I really like having purples in my sets, but this is really the extent, and maybe this one. I think there's too many pale colours and there should be more range of primary colours and purple. And then, like I mentioned, this set also came with a marker pad. It's their own paper and you can see here the specifications of it. It's a cute little square pad and I'm going to be trying that out. So I wanted to just test a couple pens on it, see what it looks like. Nothing bleeds through so far, which I find pretty cool, pretty incredible. I wanted to see how well it could blend and just what the colours looked like on it. And maybe it's to do with why the colours don't bleed through, but they look quite streaky on this paper, and also a little desaturated maybe, like the black kind of came out as grey, and the same with the other colours. They don't look entirely the same as on the swatch sheet. I also thought I'd try them out in my sketchbook. This is an RTX sketchbook and you can see the paper specifications compared to the marker pad. This set doesn't come with a protective sheet, so I had to use my own, and I did the same tests. I tested the blendability and just the saturation difference, and you can see that the colours look very different. They are a lot more saturated in my sketchbook compared to the marker paper. It does bleed through because this isn't marker paper, but I kind of feel like with how the colours and the pens look, I prefer them in the sketchbook. So for today's video, I wanted to draw a new character that I've been messing around with. So I wanted to thumbnail some ideas in my sketchbook, as I wanted to do a final piece on the marker paper. The first one, I was not feeling it. I'm not great with doing like proportions and perspective stuff. It's something I need to practice, but I'm currently too lazy. I found some reference pictures on Pinterest, which I will put on the screen so that you can see. In one of my more recent videos, the one where I made a lanyard of Kara, I mentioned that I had made a character, an icon, that was like the equivalent of Hello Kitty in Kara's world. This character is kind of related to them. They are a racer kind of character. They have rollerblades and roller skates, but they also ride motorcycles and stuff. They are a racer, and I wanted them to be like the equivalent of when you see racers and whatnot in real life and they are like mascots of a brand. This person, I want them to be a kind of mascot of the cat brand from my made up world. So that's basically who they are, which is why I gave them a cat helmet. I didn't want them to look exactly like that cat character. They are their own colour scheme and idea. They're very separate from that, but they are related to them. This character is named Cat. I really like them. They're really fun to draw. I have not yet drawn them without their helmet because I kind of want them to be the kind of character that keeps their helmet on all the time. But yes, this page here I was just messing around with what do I want to draw. So I did a couple ideas, and initially I wanted to do the idea on the square, in the square thumbnail where she is just sat down, but I still was feeling a little rusty using the marker pad, so I thought I'd start by just doing some messing around on the marker pad. Before I do that idea I had planned in my book, I wanted to just do a random drawing of her on the pad to see how the pens would work with an actual illustration rather than the initial pen tests that I did. So I'm just doodling her here, just posing, she's doing the peace symbol, just something easy that didn't need a lot of like anatomy perfection or whatever. And I tested out the colour scheme on the side to try and match the colours of her that I already have in my head, because I've drawn this character before and I did a colour thing for myself a little while ago in preparation for this video, so that I actually knew what colours I wanted to do. So I was trying to match them here on the side of the paper as best as I could. And as you saw, the colours are a lot different to how they show up in my book, but that's okay. Also, with how this paper is made, when I rubbed out my initial sketch so that it would be lighter, the pencil smudged a bit, which is unfortunate, a little annoying, but it covered up well enough with the pen afterwards, so I don't know if it's that noticeable, but I don't know. So one thing about this marker paper is I don't think it does these pens that much justice. You might be able to see it looks really streaky, and the pens don't dry as fast on this paper as they do on other papers. They can blend with colours that have previously been put down like not that long ago because they take so long to dry, but they also bleed into other colours and they create this weird effect like when you use watercolour and you put too much water down, so a lot of the pigment like drifts towards the edge of what you coloured. You can kind of get that with these pens. I'm just not a big fan of this paper, which is why I'm really glad that I did this mini test before I went and did my original idea, because it kind of put me off using this paper. I think because this drawing here has smaller details, it can kind of look alright by the end. I don't mind it too much, but on larger pieces I think it is a lot more noticeable. As for the character themselves, I haven't really got that much of like a personality for them down. I mostly just like drawing their design. They're just a very fun design. I went for really fun, bright colours, but also I wanted it to look slightly retro-y, which is why instead of a pure white, she has cream colours where, you know, white would be instead. This is also because I don't like using pure white in any of my pictures unless it's like for highlights or eye highlights or whatever. I really like going for off-white for things. I just think it makes pictures look warmer, and usually that's what I go for in a picture. I like warm toned pictures. Yeah, I just really like her colour scheme. I think it was good that I planned it out days ahead, because you guys have seen in some videos that my colour schemes can go pretty bad if I don't plan it, and who knows how this video would have turned out if I hadn't planned her colours beforehand. Now that all the colouring is done, you can see there is still no bleed through, which is pretty cool. I wanted to line her with my trusty pen, the Bic, the biro, and that is what I'm doing. I'm just outlining everything, and I also went in and added some more block black colours to like the helmet, because I really wanted the helmet to look shiny, which is why it's got some weird colorations on it. I'm not sure if it comes across, but the weird colorings that I did on the helmet are meant to be like fun reflection type things. I don't typically draw a lot of reflective material, so I was kind of just winging it and doing my colouring style in what I think a reflective way would look. And this could be easily solved just by me doing some like reference studies, but I am very lazy and I can't be bothered sometimes, so I like to just mess around and see if I can do it myself. But now that that piece is done, I thought I would give the paper another go and try drawing something else entirely different. So I'm doing a fruit study. I wanted to do some blueberries. There is an artist that I follow on Instagram who does some gorgeous blueberry pictures. And when I was thinking, what do I want to do? What fruits do I want to test these pens out? I couldn't stop thinking about the blueberries that they draw a lot. I thought it would be a good way to test it as well, because there are a few colours in this set that seem kind of perfect for what I wanted to do. But I found that a lot of the time I would swatch the colours and they would look one way, and then as soon as I started using them, they would come out very different. Like, I don't think those blues look the same as the swatches of them, which I don't understand. Maybe it's because I'm putting more down because of how I'm using them compared to a swatch. But yeah, you can really see here as well the weird splotchiness of these pens. And this is the piece that made me realise I really don't like this paper, and I don't want to use it for a final picture of my character. The colours, this piece is just messy, and I don't know what to think of it, because if you blur your eyes, I think it looks alright, but then as soon as you can see the detail of it, I don't like it. I don't like it. I decided to line this one with coloured pencils. I think that was again because the artist that I really like does this, but also I thought it would just make it look softer, and I prefer it than if I'd used my biro, I think. Yeah, and then I added some pink sparkles. I think it looks really cute. Again, still not entirely happy with it. Because I wanted to give these pens a fair chance, I decided to do some more in my sketchbook where they looked really nice in the swatch. So I thought I'd colour in those thumbnails that I'd been doing earlier, because I didn't mean to, but I think they actually look kind of cool as a page on their own. I really like how they work together. So I'm here colouring the big cat first, and I use pretty much the same pens, but I do change a couple of them compared to the colours that I used on the marker pad piece, because I realised while I was doing the marker pad piece that some of the colours look not the way I thought they'd look together, so I just wanted to change that on this one. Yeah, I much prefer how these pens work in my sketchbook. They look so nice and they dry really quickly compared to the marker pad paper, so I don't get any of that weird splotchiness. They blend the way alcohol markers usually blend, and I just really like how it all looks. I'm very happy with how this piece looks. The saturation of these colours is just so much nicer on this paper. That marker pad paper does not do them any justice whatsoever, not at all. I'm just really happy with how these pieces turned out. For these pieces, I was slowly building up each colour instead of what I typically do, which is putting down a base colour for each colour that I'm working on. I'm not sure why I did it differently in this video, but I'm really glad I did, because I think it benefits alcohol markers a lot more than my usual method. Everything just is so saturated rather than being bogged down by layering them, and they do look nice layered, which is what I did for the cream parts, which is why it looks like kind of trippy colouring. But I also quite like how they look on their own. That's what I really tried to do for this piece. I really tried to think through where each of the colours would go. I was a bit annoyed with myself. I realised later I forgot to give her her charms that are on her trousers, but I mean, it's okay. It's on the other two pieces, so it's okay that I forgot this time. Maybe she took them off, because they can come off, you know? And then for the little back flipping, or is it front flipping? I'm not entirely sure. For the flipping version of her, I decided to just colour her in pretty much one colour with one shade colour. Because they are overlapping, I didn't want the colours to clash and be really distracting if she was coloured in the same way as her big form. So I just went with a sort of teal and then shaded it with a bit of purple and blended that. And I think it works really nicely. It kind of gives it a weird poster vibe, I think. And then I went in and lined her with coloured pencils instead of the pen look because I thought I wanted a lot of colour on this piece. And so I used a blue and red pencil, and I used the blue to colour the areas that would kind of be in shadow, and then I used the red for where light would be hitting it. And I think it looks really nice. I think they bring a lot to the picture, especially because I used the blue the same way I used the black on the other one to just add more reflective look to the helmet and stuff. So you can probably see I did not colour all of the left arm in. That's because like I mentioned, this was just a thumbnail page initially, so I wasn't planning to colour these pieces in, and that arm overlaps onto the back of another picture, so I really didn't want to colour it in because then it would bleed through the picture on the other side. So it does look a little weird, and I think I make it look alright later, like I kind of blend it in a little bit, but it's very noticeable. And then for the little picture, I decided to just use one colour for line art, and it's a sort of dark bluey purple that I think looks really, really nice. And I also used it to darken up the pieces that are slightly more in the background, which gives a little bit more 3D to the piece. And then because I had nothing in this top corner of the page and I wanted the page to look finished, I decided to draw this cute little mascot version, or this cute little chibi, I don't know, version of Cat just posing, giving a thumbs up. And I actually love how it turned out. For some reason I decided to give a yellow highlight kind of thing to this piece, and I left it all pretty flat aside from that. I didn't want to go crazy with the shading and the colouring. I just wanted it to be the base colours of the design, and I just think it looks so cute. It is so simple, and I think it really works because of having it on the page with the other detailed piece. I think it fits in really nicely. Then I used the same yellow for the burst of colour behind them, and I think it looks adorable. I'm very happy with it. It makes me want to turn it into a sticker because I like it so much. I think it's so cute, but I would have to fix it digitally because there is a bit that's cut off. And then I added this cream background colour because I wanted it to kind of look like a sort of retro poster, and I really like how that looks. Then I went back in and lined the cute little version of her with just one colour to make it simple again. This was the same dark purple blue that I'd used on the other piece, and it looks really cute. It stands out really nicely against the yellow. And then I also used a red to add just a little bit of texture and colour coming out from the character and just outline the colour burst behind them. I just really like it. I'm saying that a lot. I really like how a lot of this stuff turned out in this video, so I'm really happy that I did it. And then I added some sparkles and used a white gel pen to outline the word wow because it was kind of blending in a lot and I didn't like that. And then I just added some stars because it was looking kind of empty, and I love adding stars to fill spaces, and I really like how it looked because I used the same blue pencil. Then I also wanted to show off these other items that Himi sent me. These, I think they're go-to. These are go-to museum sets. They sent me both of them. I think these are the only two that they have. And they come with 7 pens and a colouring thing inside of it, which I will show you now. It has information on one side and a colouring sheet on the other. And they also come with these circle stickers. I'm not sure what you're meant to do with them, but each colour matches the colour of the pens they sent you. So I wanted to swatch them out, as you can see here. It's a very strange colour scheme. I think because there is so much to colour in on the pages they sent you, they just gave a very random assortment, because as you can see there is a lot of stuff on those pages. So I thought I would just show you a bit of it, colouring in one small section. I don't colour in the whole thing. I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but I didn't want to colour in the whole thing. So I just showed it off here a bit. And the paper's very strange. It's similar to the marker pad paper, but it is nicer. But I wouldn't say it's made for alcohol markers, because it does feel a little resistant. And I tried to make the colours work. I tried to make it look interesting, but I don't know that the colours go that well together. So I don't know, I struggled a little bit. I don't know how you'd colour in the whole piece. I think you'd have to go very block colours instead of trying to add shading and stuff. Here is the other set as well. It also comes with 7 markers, which I'm swatching out so that you can see. And yeah, I'm very mixed on these. These colours all also come in the 80 pen set, so I guess you're mostly buying this set for the colouring sheet. Yeah. So now I'm just going back, and I wanted to make this a double page spread. So I'm just trying to figure out how to fit things on the other page. I don't end up putting the blueberries on this page because they just don't fit very well. I couldn't make it all fit without covering everything up. So I'm just making this a cat double page spread. And I thought it would be perfect to use the coloured stickers they also sent, because they have some that are similar to the colour scheme that I was going for. So I just threw a couple on of the yellow, it's kind of an orangey red, and this blue, which I think looks really, really cute. I then used my pencil to kind of add a bit more shading and stuff to the arm that isn't coloured. And then I also added the word Himi in the slot at the top just to fill it in a bit and also show that this is a Himi double page spread. And yeah, that's it for this spread. I really, really like how it turned out. I think it all looks really cute together. I think the colours are really nice and the pens work really, really nicely in my sketchbook. I'm just not a big fan of this paper, but that's easy. Just don't use the paper, you know? And I think it looks really cute. I really like this character, so I really want to do more with them. I hope you like their design as well, because I had a lot of fun making this spread. As for the blueberries, I did actually stick them here. Don't mind this, I've been going through a Last of Us mood. I stuck them on this side instead, and you can kind of see the bleed through a little bit still through the paper, but you know, it's nice, it covers it up enough. And I think it looks really nice with all these Tommies. But let's go back here. So yeah, that's it for these pens. So aside from the missing items from the set and the pen that didn't work, I think these pens, they seem quite nice. The colours, well, I'm mixed on the colour range. I'm confused by the lack of purples, but I guess you can blend some of the colours to make a purple yourself. Thank you if you've made it this far in the video, and I also want to say a massive thank you to my Patreons: Disby, Finn Carter, Grimclow, The Waffle of Life, Non-Toxic, Saint Nick's, LP, Kira May, Kay, Joanna, Mila, Pretty Rotten, R.A. Foxy, Joanna Snake Moon, Humble Frogs, Local Fishkeeper, Mould Ghoul, Farrar Ware, Sun Arts, Molly Marula, Scout Radley, Sammy Bear 127, Kenzania, Jade S, Arrow, Charlie, Malorus, Balmora Blues, Cindy King, Art by Lavender, Angel of the Woods, Rainbow Tea, Breaded Nuggets, Learns, Humani, The Moth Bug, Knox, Catbird House, The Tormented Shadow, Sweet and Hopeless, Pocket, Jordan's Tiny Planet, The Coffee Rain, Black Jackal Art, Leela Loves You, Halachu, Faith, A Wendu, Cosascobs, Wolf and Wares, Ronnie, Olivia Gadbor, Heather F, Cheris Needham, Rotting Lettuce, Binixery, Cyrus Orion, Lolo, Brianna McGraw, Malbon Designs, Gamut Girl, Dodo, Catberry Studio, Solar Tortoise, Venom Horror, Auden, Red S Lily, Hayley, Sienna G, Stephanie, Lady Ratbird, Clown, Fia, Greenfinch G Illustration, Lynn, Cody, Pobbles, Cloud, Cleo, Redders, Ziutka, Chelsea Amson, Beetle Ghost, Artsy Ghost, Melisandra Sinclair, Bria Washington, Hurrier, June, Dakota Garcia, Caitlin Eden, and Manon. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and I will hopefully have another video out for you all soon.